I
Mm-hmm.
said it was so much soul, so much power,
Mm-hmm.
so much fire. And it wasn't,
Yeah.
and some people may interpret it as screaming. No, no, no. That was holleration, y'all. That was not screaming. Fantasia would have been proud. Hello, and welcome to the Pitchy Podcast. We are your hosts, James.
And Stephanie.
We'll take your time. Here on the Pitchy Podcast, we are passionate about good music and a great vocal. And when we mean a great vocal, we mean a great vocal. We'll use the vehicle of NBC's The Voice to give you our take and our feedback on each contestant and each contestant's performance. We will give you that feedback, but what we're never here to do is come for any contestant as a person or what am I trying to say, Stephanie? I'm so done with this.
We ain't coming for you as a human being.
Yeah,
but we gonna keep it 100 with our feedback.
But let me tell you, we gonna come for you when you give a vocal like some of y'all gave tonight. We coming for you, but we coming for you in a good way.
Yes.
So I will always speak our truths with love, kindness, respect, and a little bit of drama. Just a little bit of dramatics, because y'all, welcome to episode 3 of The Battles, season 26.
Woo! My Lord.
Okay, we got to just jump right in.
Let's go.
I was not ready, Stephanie, for the first performance tonight.
Nor was I.
One person who we already knew what he was going to do, and that was Danny. If you all remember, Danny was the Englishman who had a lot of intestinal issues, had been sick for many years, and talked about his wife and just how incredible she was and raising the kids and taking care of him and working and helping him. And she's the one, I think, that recommended him to get on that show. Mm-hmm. And then Deon, who we didn't really get to see. And then I saw the song that was given to them. It's a Man's World, done by the incomparable King of Soul, James Brown.
Mm-hmm.
I said, before it started, before we got into it, when we were in the Be Real, Stephanie, I said, it's not going to be fair. Danny is going to be one of those singers that whoever you pair him up against in the battles, it's not going to be fair.
Yes.
Because Danny is that electric.
Yes, he is.
I said he's a force. That's what I wrote. I said Danny is a force.
Yes.
Not, like beyond a force of nature. He just is. Okay, he's just a force. And I said, Stephanie, remember when? And then we get into the performance. Then we get into some of this the holleration that was coming. And that was just in the Be Real. And this is what I wrote down, Stephanie. I said, remember when you have a hot iron skillet and you're frying either fish or chicken in that hot grease or oil, as we call it here. And then that grease is so hot. What does it do, Stephanie?
Pop.
And it hits you. Ooh. And you like, ouch. Stephanie, you know what I'm talking about. And those of you that know what I'm talking about. Cast iron skillet, deep frying some fish or some chicken or something. Okra, I don't know. And that grease gets so hot, it pops. It goes, and it hits you. That hot grease hits your skin. And you're like, and it burns you. So that's what tonight was with the opening performance. I said it was so much soul, so much power, so much fire. And it wasn't, and some people may interpret it as screaming. No. That was holleration, y'all. That was not screaming. Fantasia would have been proud. That was holleration. You know what? I love I love Deon's vibrato. He has such a unique vibrato. It reminds me of those kind of soul singers of the 80s, late 70s, 80s, like the Freddie Jackson, the Peebo Bryson, the Jeffrey Osborne. Like, it reminds me of like the Quiet Storm type singers. It's a different sound. I said, I just loved it. I said, it's a slightly faster vibrato, but not too machine gunny. Like, no. It's slightly faster.
Like a sheep.
It's very unique. Yeah. And y'all, I cussed a lot tonight during this performance. And I said, take your blankety blank time, right? So, because it was I wrote total annihilation, zero survivors, triple snappage. Y'all, we haven't talked about snapping too much, like where people snap, but there wasn't a single snap, there wasn't a double snap, it was triple snappage. It's like they snapped for the Holy Ghost.
Snap fest.
He snapped, and then they both snapped for the Holy Ghost.
Yes.
And I said, I thought Danny had Deon until you got to go back and watch what Deon does at the end of this song. It's like, he said, I got one more. That's going to write that's my insurance note. I said, Deon said, let me, I got one more bag in my, trick in my bag.
Not the insurance note.
It's an insurance note. He said, because I ain't going nowhere. Boom. Stephanie, you up.
I was not ready for insurance note, but I know exactly what you mean.
You know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about. When I first saw this pairing, because this is another one that I saw on Instagram, it seems that either during the weekend prior to the episode or Monday, my days are all going together, but prior to the actual show, contestants are allowed to show through picture only who their battle partners were. And this one was so interesting to me because, again, we know what Danny's bringing. And again, didn't really know the full of what Deon was bringing. But I was like, okay, knowing what Danny brings, either this is full on sabotage for Deon, or Deon has a holler within him as well.
No, y'all just got the tongue smack. Stephanie,
what? Like, okay, let me start with Danny. From the beginning, from the first line, I was like, here we go. Okay, not only did we get falsetto also from Danny, we got nuanced holleration. Have you ever heard nuanced holleration where it's just not a holler, it's a holler and a run, or there's a holler and a quiet? It was just like, what is he doing? Along with running, along with all the incredibly creative things he was doing with his voice. And like James said, and I'll say this of Deon as well, for the amount of holleration happening, it was not screaming. It was so impactful, so powerful, and so cohesive in a way. Like, their holler complemented each other. Like,
so appropriate.
So, and especially for this song and this artist that sings this song, James Brown, you better come with a holler if you're doing a James Brown song, okay? Deon.
Did you hear Deon? Did you hear what he said in the middle of the battle to Danny? Did you catch it?
I did, but remind me.
He said, you better sing, Deon.
No, he was like, sing, brother. He said, sing, Danny. Sing, Danny. I was like, that's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking. He said, sing, Danny. He sure did. Deon. I did not know that Deon had this old school soul throat. He literally, in the best way, sounded like a 73-year-old pastor that could sing, like a Marvin Sapp or like a Marvin Winans. Like, he had that pastoral, soulful, rich voice that sounded like it should not come out of his throat. Vibrato, all of it. Like, I was waiting for them to, I was waiting for him to call the choir up to back him up or something like that. Like, it was so dynamic. And the two of them together were dynamic. The showmanship was off the charts, yet appropriate. And I was literally like, James was saying, take your time. I'm like, I was ready to shout. Like, I was ready to shout. It was so, I was not ready. I was ill prepared. And now that I know what it is, I can't wait to go back and watch it again.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Wow, you two. We knew before it was even over that y'all weren't going home. Neither y'all.
Nope.
Please.
Nope.
That was so
Nope.
obvious.
Nope.
So obvious. Not so obvious on others that we are going to talk about, but
Right.
that one definitely obvious. And y'all weren't going home. So how did it work out?
So Queen Reba picked Danny as the winner, and Deon was bop stolen by Gwen.
Huge pickup.
Gwen. Yes.
Gwen even said, "I loved his showmanship." She said the voice was ridiculous, but his showmanship was crazy.
You know something. You know she loves somebody that can perform. Yeah.
And insurance. Ooh, gentlemen, what a way to start a night. I can't remember in recent history how dynamic of a battle. This is what we want. This is what Stephanie and I want.
Yes.
We want blood. We want maiming. We want knife fights.
All right, knife fight. I don't know about the rest.
Okay. Okay, so next we had Brad and Jake.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Brad and Jake. I'll make a deal with you two. If I immerse myself in more country music, I need you two to immerse yourself in the classics.
Mm-hmm.
Because y'all were like, I ain't never heard of this song. I was like, really?
Yeah.
But then I got to remember they're also younger.
Yeah.
This was one of Lionel's biggest songs.
Mm-hmm.
Huge crossover hit in the 80s, 70s or 80s. I know it's post the Commodores, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Lionel Richie stuck on you. And I'm so glad Snoop gave them like a little bit of background, talking about y'all. This is number one, this is Lionel Richie. Number two, Lionel Richie wrote huge songs for Kenny Rogers.
Yes.
I mean, Lady was I think his biggest hit.
Yes.
Kenny Rogers' biggest hit of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, Lionel Richie is, I mean, y'all, he's still killing it on that other singing competition show. But he is. He's just living legend.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I love?
Yes.
You know what had me with this one? That doggone Jake starting down the octave. Jake, bruh. I said, I stuck on you. I said, come on, Jake. I said, he gave me the lows, all the lows. I said, I love this song, and I love that it was remastered as a country song. I always thought it sounded like a country song when it originally came out, but I love that they really countrified it. I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell it's just a wonderfully written song, just because it's one of those songs that sticks in your head. Everybody was just kind of swaying and feeling good about it.
Yes.
I love the contrast between the two voices. I said, but there's something about Jake's voice that's just mesmerizing to me. I said, maybe it's his range and how he delicately handles every level of his voice.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's as delicate with his lows as he is with his middle and as he is with his upper register.
Yes.
I said, the thing I love about Brad, I said, Brad's voice, Brad has one of those 1980s theme song voices.
1,000%.
Family Ties. Show me that Growing Pains. Show me that smile again. Like he's got just one of those. What will we
Yes.
do with
Yes.
Sha la la la. Like
1000%.
gorgeous, gorgeous voice. It just reminds me of 1980s theme song. Very
Mm-hmm.
high timbre, very
Mm-hmm.
crystal clear,
Mm-hmm.
very just beautiful, beautiful singing.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I just love the entire groove of this arrangement. I felt like there was a groove to it. And I don't know if it was the slide guitar or whatever they were
Yeah.
playing in the background. Um, it just felt like two guys sitting around a campfire with dueling guitars,
Mm-hmm.
just going through hits and
Mm-hmm.
like kind of countrifying every hit that
Mm-hmm.
they had in their repertoire. And you
Mm-hmm.
just sitting there, just sitting in your chair, drinking your drink and
Yes.
just enjoying the show,
Mm-hmm.
enjoying the music. Awesome job, both of you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this was a real duet. I thought that their voices, and I think one of the coaches said this as well, that the combination of their two voices came together really, really beautifully. Because although Jake started in that bass area, in that low area, he has that tenor vocal as well. Which there were parts of this song that he was able to show that as well. But coming in, it's really hard to make that low sound impactful. So when he
Hmm.
started the song that way, I thought it was really, really great. Brad's voice, you nailed it. He's got that 80s rock tone that almost sounds like it has like a synthesized effect to
Like
it,
an
like
easy
on its
rock,
own. Yeah,
like easy
absolutely.
listening rock, right? Like Richard
Absolutely.
Marx.
Yes. Yeah.
Wherever you go, like that type of
Yeah.
voice, you know.
The, I felt, I think,
Ryan Adams.
yes. Yeah. So it's it's almost as if Brad's voice, even though it has movement to it, only has a certain volume and his holleration only gets to a certain point. So I felt like Jake was kind of holding back his full vocal to match Brad's. And it came together really, really nicely. I was just wondering whether that would affect what the coaches thought, and especially what Snoop would think about his overall vocal, since they're obviously being judged individually. However, I really like their voices together.
Yeah, yeah. It was like you said, it was a beautiful duet. Beautiful duet.
Mm-hmm.
Great song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, tonight it's like the song one. Like
Yeah.
I'm talking about like the theme of tonight.
Yes. Yeah. Great
I
song
thought
choices.
every song was a great song choice tonight.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Everyone. So
Yeah.
who did Snoop wind up picking?
Snoop went with Jake.
I agree. I agree. Yeah. Jake has just his range is just so it's just so beautiful to me. Beautiful.
Mhm. Mhm.
Mesmerizing is the word I think I
Yeah.
used. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, great. So next, who do we have, Steph?
Next up, we had Cozy Len versus Felsmere, and they did Summer Breeze. That's by Seals and Crofts.
Susan Croft. Yep. 1970 song.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. For these two voices, I don't know if it was. I mean, Gwen kind of in the B reels, like Gwen kind of acted like she picked the song, and Gwen, if that was you that picked the song, chef's kiss, chef's kiss. I thought this was the perfect song for Felsmere and Cozy, like their voice types.
Mhm.
Perfect.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
said, great song selection for the style of voices. I said, it really accentuates and brings out both of them in the most positive manner. Like
Mhm.
that arrangement just brought them out. Um, did you notice that Felsmere had a Gwen Stefani quality to her voice? I
Totally.
I heard early Gwen.
Yeah.
I heard take this regret off my eye. Like I heard that Gwen Stefani vibrato that's so unique that when you hear it, you're like, that's Gwen Stefani.
Yeah.
Like, like, and I loved the way Felsmere ended every, like what she did with her vibrato at the end of all the lines that she sang.
Yeah.
I thought it really kind of separated her and showed the uniqueness of her sound.
Yeah.
I said, you know, I really am glad that I got to see Cozy, like, because he really does have a beautiful voice.
Yes, he does.
I just think, again, it was another situation where it was a little safe for me, a little too safe for me. Because I just have a feeling like his voice can, like, he can really do stuff with it because it's a gorgeous voice. There was a part I said, watch y'all's harmonies when you go into your upper register. You just need a little bit more breath. I mean, easier said than done. A little bit more tug, and I'm going to talk technical for a second. A little bit more tug in the diaphragm. It's like kind of like the kind of breathing that they used to have a technique called Lamaze for pregnant women. It's that
Used to.
Oh, y'all still
Still
use it?
do. Yes, we
It's
do.
that when you feel like you're hyperventilating, that's your diaphragm. That's what you're feeling tug going like this, right? And that helps with your breath and connection to your upper register. I said towards the end, it got a little sketchy for me, Stephanie. I said, you all have to really listen and watch your tuning to each other's voices because I felt like it got a little off towards the end of the song. But I loved the front half, and I loved that they were very complimentary to each other's singing as well. Stephanie?
There's a really big glaring part of this performance that I'm really interested that you didn't say anything about. I'll say it in a minute. Cliffhanger. Okay. First of all, I was like, come on, band. The band was ready for this song.
Yeah.
I thought that they sounded really great together. I thought that I am a sucker for somebody that will enter the song with a hum. They will, and I'm just like, come on, set the atmosphere. And Felsmere came in with that, and I was like, I'm ready. I'm ready. Just like you said, come on, tone. Her tone has this pop R&B, but like rock, just like you said, like a Gwen style tone. I think that she is a star. She is a star. She looks so natural. The way her presence on stage is just so natural. Like she seemed like one of those people, like they might be shy or whatever, but the minute they hit the stage, like they light up, like that's home. Yes, exactly. Cozy. I said, come on, falsetto, because he had a moment when he would like one of his when one of his first entrances into the song solo wise was a falsetto. I was like, come on, his tone is really, 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 really gorgeous. He's got like this all around classic soul tone that it was just so great to hear. Here's my thing. I was like, Cozy, when you gonna sing by yourself? Because for a while, Felsmere had the majority of the leads to this song where she sang on her own. So much so that Snoop said something about it. He pointed out that Felsmere had a lot of the leads in the song. And he said that, like, I like the way Snoop spun it to say like he was being a gentleman. And I was like, but this is a battle.
Right.
But this is a battle. So I would love to understand more of what went into the arrangement of this song. Because honestly, and this is not knowing how things were arranged and how things went down, which, we're not privy to that information. It was almost like Cozy just handed over this song. Like he
Yeah.
hand like it was like he handed over this battle and he just kind of
Yeah.
deferred to whoever was making decisions about the arrangement to the song. I just did not feel like he was able to truly showcase himself enough for the result to go his way. Spoiler. Because there just was not enough of his individual body of work to
Right.
warrant him moving through, which was kind
Right.
of a shame because he sounded really great. But I
He
was like,
did.
bruh, can you take more than a line? Like, can you, like, she had like the first verse of the song and you had like this, like a half of a verse or something. I was like, what was up with that? So interesting. Interesting.
So Gwen wound up keeping
Felsmere.
Felsmere.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's gonna go really well because she is very Gwen in her style. Like you said, she's a star. Can't take your eyes off of her. And she's got that really unique tone, a really unique vibrato that we like.
One thing, did you notice, I don't know how much of the comments from the coaches you watched. Felsmere was visibly emotional. Very.
Mm-mm.
She was very emotional after the performance. And at some point somebody says, maybe it was Gwen said, and on stage you don't even look nervous, and she was like, I'm nervous. So I don't know if it was nerves, I don't know, because they did play up a lot that she got cut in the battles the last time she was on the show. So
That's true.
maybe it was nervous because of that. But it's I've not seen many artists that emotional on stage after a good performance.
Right.
So
Right.
I'd be interested to know what was going on, but
Exactly.
she gets to move forward.
Okay, so next is Jamison and Shye,
Yeah.
and they sang "Love Yourself," and I'm just smiling because by Bieber, written by Ed Sheeran,
Yes.
um, by the Biebs, and I just was like, "This is just a great song."
It really
It's
is.
just Ed Sheeran wrote just a. He's just a beast of a writer. I mean,
Yes,
it's
he
just
is.
crazy.
Yeah.
Um, Shy's voice is not of this world.
Nope. Nope.
It's just sometimes people just have voices where it just can't be explained.
Right.
Like the girl's 17 and she's doing like, I think Michael said it or someone said it, like she's doing like Adele things
Yeah.
at 17,
Yeah.
or like Brittany Howard is who she,
Mm-hmm.
and she
Mm-hmm.
even kind of favors Brittany Howard in looks,
Yes, she
like
does.
Brittany Howard things.
Yes.
And these instinctual singing things that a teenager shouldn't be doing.
No.
And it's just a rarity to find stylistically someone who you could tell has confidence issues, but is so confident in their instrument
Come on.
that it just comes out.
Yeah.
I said, Jamison, every time you sing, I get emotional. Every time you sing, the tears well up in my eyes. And Stephanie will
Truly.
tell you, most singers don't make me cry. Like
Mm.
it's rare.
James is not easily moved.
I felt like this was the best performance of the night. I wouldn't say the most dynamic, but I would say the best performance for me.
Wow.
For me, this is I actually rewound and watched this one again.
Okay.
I loved it so much. I said, Jamison, what are you doing? I said, the rap singing at the beginning, I said, I'm stealing everything. I'm stealing everything, sir. Everything that you're doing, I'm stealing it. I said, y'all, listen to how they both find the groove in the middle of the beats. Like, they weren't just singing like straight, right? It was a perfect example of how you backphrase. Perfect example of how you wait a split second, the beat comes in and you're right behind it, but you're right there with it. I said, this was great coaching by Michael, because Michael even said, he's like, I just want a little groove. I want a little bit. like a little bit more in the cut singing. And especially from, he said about Jamison, and Jamison, like, especially like the front half of the song, like what he was doing, he's like, that, he said, it was like, it wasn't just da, da, da. He was going da, 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 like all types of rhythms, all over, rhythmically, all over the place. And it just stylistically, it fit. I said, okay, show your range, Shye. Did you hear, like, she went up? I said, okay. I said, show your range, young lady. I said, wow, wow, wow. I was very, I'm just going to come out and say, I was very, very upset. Jamison should not be leaving this show at all. You all got it wrong. The fact that you all did not bop for him is crazy to me. It's just insane. Y'all go back and listen to hear what he was doing. He was giving us Steve Perry, but he was doing stylistic things like in an R&B soul way, and giving us worship director, like worship leader. Like it's like he was doing it all. I said, but I know why. I know why he was sent home. Stephanie will explain it when she talks about this, about something she told me earlier about when she saw the pairings. Y'all, Shye has a unique talent that doesn't come around too often. And they hear what we hear. We hear what they hear. And they hear what we hear. It is a unique talent that is like Adele rare. Mm-hmm. And that's the only, like, if he was paired up against anyone else, he would have won. And he would have been sending somebody home.
Yep.
But I understand that there's no side. That I just think that Jamison is one of the top singers of this show. And so I thought they got it wrong by not keeping him. Stephanie?
I have more to say about this than I thought, because the more that you was talking, the more stuff kept coming up. let me just dive in. Shye. The tone is just wicked. And for both of y'all, the holleration in the rehearsal, I was like, well dang. Like that, shoot. Shye has got the storyteller, rich, mature voice. The maturity of her voice is way, like, it's if you look at her and you don't think that sound's supposed to come out of her mouth.
Like Gwen was freaking out, right? She was like,
yeah.
What?
Yeah, that voice has been through 3 divorces. She got like 4 kids and 2 jobs. Like, that's what her voice sounds like. Like her voice sounds like life. And it's so beautiful, the control that she has over it. Jamison, brother, the swag of it all, the power of it all, the soul of it all, the holler of it all, the character of it all. Okay. Yeah. You better run. You better give us the grit. It was just a masterpiece what you did. And I want you to hear me, because I can't stand, and I know the voice has to have an angle, and the voice has to have, everybody has to have a story to some degree or whatever. And what made me mad about tonight was that they focused on the fact that part of Jamison's story is that he he struggles with rejection. And then what happens? So I hate when stuff like that happens, but I'm going to need you to know, sir, on tonight, what you did was masterful. Yeah. And just because somebody is an artist and gifted in their own lane does not mean that they have full knowledge of others. Okay? Speaking of Michael Bublé did not understand the timing things that you were doing, Jamison. They were a little bit too sophisticated for Mr. Bublé, who is very much on time person. He does not understand the timing and it being in the cut. If I were to ask Michael Bublé what being in the cut means, he might not understand. But what you were doing was you were dancing around the melody of that song, which is how it's supposed to be done if you understand who the artist and who the author of the song was. Ed Sheeran. All of Ed Sheeran's early stuff and even current stuff is very rap singing. It's very, you take whatever the melody is and you dance around it, basically, lyrically. And that is what you did. And not only Bieber, but Ed Sheeran would be honored at how you handled his song. So I want you to hear that from us. It might not mean as much coming from us because we are no Michael Bublé, but we know a little something, something. Okay, so I want to speak that into you. One other thing that I want to say is that I loved. First of all, when I saw this pairing, I cussed. I was like, shit. And then when I saw when this pairing was coming in the lineup, which is what I think James was alluding to, when I saw when this pairing was in the lineup of things, knowing the show, I knew somebody was going to go home and probably would not be stolen based on placement in the show. Jamison, I want to thank you on Shye's behalf because this is a 17-year-old young lady and you are a 30-something-year-old gentleman. And I want to thank you for your pairing and your partnership. I don't know how I would feel.
Real quick, y'all have no idea what goes into the preparation of these battles. We got a little behind the scenes look, and it is hours upon hours upon hours that you spend with your battle partner. Upwards of a week, right, Steph?
Yes. Yeah.
And you're locked in a room and you just like, so to Stephanie's point, sir, thank you so much. Thank you so much
because, and I want to make this point because it's not only because of the difference in gender, it's because of the difference in age. To have to spend that much time with somebody who is in a different season of life than Shye is. And for them to seemingly have the bond that they had and the way that they were able to perform this thing together. And I think Reba used the word staging, which sounds inauthentic and artificial, but it wasn't. The way they sang this song as friends was really touching to me. Like, I really appreciated that, knowing how much time y'all would have to spend together and knowing that this may not on face value be the most comfortable pairing for each one of you. The way you were able to make it work and have a beautiful product at the end, I want to congratulate both of you.
Awesome. So, Shye,
congratulations to Shye. Yeah.
Went through with Michael, and then Jamison got sent home, unfortunately. But we love you, sir.
We do.
I'm going to go on your handle because I need to hear some more stuff by you. Your voice I could listen to all the time, Jamison.
Absolutely.
It's awesome.
Absolutely.
That incredible. Okay, so next we have Lauren Michael and Creigh.
Yes.
And they sang a song that's very special to me. You'll Be Found from the musical Dear Evan Hansen. The song has been remade. It's played on the Christian stations. It's played on the easy listening stations. It's a Broadway song. I mean, it's one of those songs that, in my opinion, have come out of recent Broadway that it just sticks with you. It's a song.
Yeah.
It's a song I performed at my church for Easter a couple of years ago. I mean, it's just a wonderful song. I said, Creigh, Creigh sounds like he could sing musical theater himself. Like when he came in,
1,000%.
I was like, I said, oh, that's a musical theater voice. So you need to think about that. I said, y'all, Laura is just next level. I said, the way she emotes is just incredible. And Reba said it first, like, it's like she's your girl next door. She's your lady next door or down the street. But it's your lady down the street that you always want to be around because they're always speaking wisdom. And they're always just such a warm presence. And Lauren Michael, you know what that warm presence is because you got it all up in you. But that's who you are. I said, she had me on Have You Ever? Like, she's, have you ever? I said, I can't hit a bop because it wasn't the blinds. But I was like, where's my button? I said, where's my button? I said, but you know what, Stephanie? Stephanie, you know I'm not a purist, but I wasn't sure about parts of this arrangement. I felt parts of the arrangement of the song was a little cheap. It was a little cheap. Not what the singers were doing. Not by any means what the singers were. I just thought they were just, I don't know, it was just weird parts of it. I said, she has one of those elevation voices. And I'm not talking about elevation church. I'm just talking about a voice that when
Well,
she
well.
sings, I mean, I could be a voice that when she sings, everything gets elevated. Everything gets lifted
Mhm.
up, including Creigh.
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
like, because what Creigh, I said, it's just an entire mood. It's anointing is what it is. I said, and that's what Lauren Michaels' voice is. It's just an anointed voice. I said, what Creigh did on the back half of that song, really towards the end of the song, I said his upper register is freaking
Spin.
bananas. I said, ooh. I said, Creigh let us have it at towards the end of that song
Yes.
with his featured parts. It was
Yes.
so. This was, whoo. This one, it choked me up a little bit, especially like even in the B reels, like when Lauren was just talking and telling her story, right? I just was like, and then next thing you know, like, I'm like, am I getting choked up? Am I getting choked up? This woman is a walking testimony. She really is. You can tell.
Mhm.
You can
Mhm.
tell she has got a testimony and a half that
Mhm.
that she wants to tell. Stephanie.
Oh, I was crying after her part, and when Reba started getting choked up, I was crying. I was like, "Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!"
Yeah.
Okay, I got to get myself together so I can actually listen to this
Yeah.
thing. Um, Lauren, Lauren Michael has this professional sound. Like when her voice comes out of her throat, it's just like how many albums do you have again? You must have about
Right.
five, six.
Right.
Like that's just the kind of voice that she has. It's stunning. It's got this cool texture to it. It almost sounds like it's from like another place, like another land. Like it's like a
Sounds like a young Dolly. In
yeah.
certain spaces, like because I hear the Southern country in her voice.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really, really, it's a really cool sound. Creigh. Creigh just got straight holleration in his throat. The minute he
Mm-hmm.
opens up his mouth, especially in that upper range, it's like, how do you sing that powerfully and that clear in that high of a timbre and that high of your range? Like, because I know you know this song well, James, and for how high it can and it can go and how
Stephanie, what was when you heard me sing this at church? What was the first thing you said to me
oh, I don't
when you
remember.
saw me? You said, you remember what you said?
No.
You said, "Tag, that's high."
Oh yeah. I was like, you got up there, brother. You got up there. And you got to go up there
That's
like full voice. Like you and I just up there falsettoing all the time. I thought it was really, really cool how we were able to see and we knew Creigh could get up there based on his blinds. We knew he had that holleration in his throat. And I thought that they sounded really great together.
they did,
I
but
thought they sounded
I
really
thought
great
Lauren Michael,
together.
like, again. I just felt like her voice and her performance just elevated the entire room.
Here's the thing though with this song, with this performance. I have no idea, none, how they remembered the arrangement of this song. Because not only was it like, uh, there was so much going on.
There was a
Like
lot.
there might have been a verse, but then like within the verse, like there was a harmony part and then verse, and then somebody singing the verse and then another harmony part, and then somebody was on the top and then they flipped and somebody was on the bottom, somebody was singing the melody and then they were singing the harmony. I have no idea. And I don't know if y'all arranged this or if somebody helped y'all arrange it. There was a lot going on. And I understand that that there is a creative element to taking a song and doing a battle and making sure that it's different and new and fresh and you're both highlighted. I would say, well, there's not going to be another situation in this show where you're going to probably have to arrange with somebody else. So I would have taken out a couple of those elements because it was a little distracting for me, but I thought that it was executed really well.
It
But
was.
I was like, I would have like, how we have road maps, James. I was like, Lord have mercy. I would have never remembered that road map. I would have
Right.
needed,
Right.
I would have needed Lydia in my ear saying parts, verse, parts, chorus,
Bridge.
bridge. I would have needed, yes, tag again, yes. I would have needed a personal Lydia in my ear telling me what I was supposed to do. So, but
Yeah,
well
it
done,
was
well
great,
done.
great singing.
Mm-hmm.
So who did she wind up picking? Who did Reba wind up picking?
She picked Lauren Michael.
Yeah, it's special. It's like some people have
Stage.
incredible voices. Some
Yeah.
people have incredible voices with incredible anointing on that all over their throat.
Oh.
And Lauren Michael is one of them that has
Mm-hmm.
been blessed with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So our final performance of the night was our leak from last Friday. So we had a little bit of time to marinate on it. I didn't get a chance to check it out actually until today, and I actually called Stephanie because shout out to Sam Smith, Lay Me Down, which was one of probably our favorite versions on Tiny Desk that Sam did earlier this year. Just a little plug for that one if you haven't watched it. It's one of the best. First thing that caught my ear, Stephanie, and I talked to you about this earlier, was the tempo in the beginning. I said it sounds like the back phrasing got a little sloppy. And by that, I mean sometimes you can back phrase too much, and if you back phrase too much, you're going to lose the tempo. And I felt like the tempo, it dragged for a minute. I said, saying that, I said it was a spectacular epic battle. It was a battle royale. I said
Mm-hmm.
two of the strongest on this season who gave
Mm-hmm.
each other time to shine. That's what I
Mm-hmm.
felt this was. I said Austyns' upper register, upper extension is exquisite.
So
Like I just was like I can't even do it. It was just so insane what he was doing.
yeah.
It was just crazy. Um, I said, but the snap happened. Stephanie, you know our part. Dun 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 dun. Lay me down tonight. That woo. I said the snappage. I said the snappage into the B section. I said, Jose, I'm sorry, this was Austyns and Jose Lay Me Down, Sam Smith. I said, Jose, sir, I said, the beautiful, beautiful choices that you made to showcase everything that your voice has to offer, I was blown away. I said, as someone who has a larger voice, a lot of people may not understand who sing who don't have the biggest voices in the world. It is so much more difficult to get a refined sound when your
Yeah.
voice is so big. And
Mm-hmm.
Jose has mastered that refined sound. His 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 just the way he uses dynamics, the way he doesn't give you everything in the beginning, the way he just his power, everything is just chef's kiss. um I said for I just thought this is wonderful for the both of them. I said I also love, one of the biggest things that I love to see is the way they hugged it out at the end. Like, right, like you can tell like they had really really worked hard on that
Mm-hmm.
duet, and there was so much adoration and just love the way they hugged it out. I loved it because it was like, you know what, we slayed them, we both slayed them.
Yes.
Insurance, we ain't going home. I
We
know they did not give us who was and who wasn't, but
no, they gave us who was and who wasn't. They just did not tell us the
oh,
full of
who they
everything.
saved? Oh, okay, I'll
Well,
let you
I'm
talk.
not saying
Yeah, okay, okay. Talk to me. What'd you think? What'd you think of this?
yeah.
Because you've had time to marinate, so I'm really interested to hear what you said.
This has been and will be one of the ones that I go back to.
Yeah.
There was just so much deliciousness to unpack about this particular performance that I just keep discovering new things that I love. Not only about the vocal, but just watching them perform. So Austyns was giving the aura, and not the sound, but he was giving the aura that kind of we wanted to see from Cozy. The way he entered into that song was just so confident, so assured, so chill, but not passive. Just he was doing everything that Gwen asked of him as a performer to connect with the audience. I was all in. And but then you cut over to Jose, and I love you so much. Jose was over there. He was over there vibing, and I saw him take a breath. He was just like, I was like, it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right, Jose. But he over there, he is just like this. I was like, you better do your little shimmy while Austyns singing this first verse down. And then Jose comes in, and I'm just like, but your voice, but the tone. But I loved all of it, and I understand what you were saying about the back phasing and the timing and all that. But it didn't matter to me. It really didn't. I loved it so much. So when you get to the lay me down, what the entrance into that, what Austyns was doing, he said, I said,
take your. So take your.
He was like crouched down. He was like all crouched down. I was like, ooh. I was like, this is for real battle. This is when I was like, we really up in here battling right now. And then Jose was doing his little thing, and he turned around and he said, and lay me down. I said, like, I wanted to throw stuff at my screen. The Sam Smith holleration in his throat is undeniable, and I said that in his blind, like, you are Sam Smith part 2, basically.
Jose,
in your own way. I said
Jose's Puerto Rican Sam Smith. I tell you,
yes, he is. He was hollering to the gods. But then we got Austyns, who I was like, okay, Austyns gonna be in the lows or whatever. He just gonna stay there.
No,
I was like, you better show him.
I was like, whistle.
I was like, you better show them that you got that too. That you ain't just way up there. I was like, y'all better do this thing. It was. I loved, and lastly, I really loved the arrangement of the song because it had like a reggae groove to it, which I was like, yeah, give me the reggae version of the Sam Smith "Lay Me Down."
Don't start dirty wine.
I loved it so much.
So good.
So
another. I think another. We also need to bring out another duet, another battle where they were the generosity.
Yes.
The generosity of the two of them, and you can see that with the way they hug at the end.
Yes, it was great. Absolutely, it was great. So, in the end, Gwen picked Jose as the winner to stay on her team.
Dun, dun, dun.
Well, Austyns didn't have much time to move. He didn't have much time to move. I think he came down to hug Gwen, and it was like, bop, bop, bop. So he's back on stage having to make a choice between Reba, Bublé, and Snoop. And they all gave very compelling arguments. And that is where the show ended. Our cliffhanger for tonight was, and what we'll find out tomorrow, is who Austyns picked to be his new coach going into the knockouts. So they both moved on, which had to be the outcome, or this would be the end of the podcast for season 26.
Oh gosh. Well, we had a lot of fun tonight. Tonight was a stellar episode. I mean, just remarkable singing and artistry tonight.
All right,
you all. Well, I am fading fast because it's been a very long day for both me and Stephanie. But we love doing this, and we're not going to stop until the wheels come off.
Or they make us mad.
Right. Don't try us.
Don't try us.
Don't try
Please
us.
don't try us.
All right. So Stephanie, tell the pitchies what they need to hear.
So don't forget to follow and subscribe to the Pitchy Podcast on your favorite podcast platform so you can be the first to know when we drop a new episode. Check us out on YouTube. Search for The Pitchy Podcast and hit that subscribe button so you know when we drop a new video. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at The Pitchy Podcast for new episode alerts, episode clips, and so much more. And lastly, don't forget we are on Patreon, y'all. You don't want to miss us on Patreon. It was good tonight, y'all. It was worth your $5 per month to see us on Patreon tonight, okay? You will also receive additional content in this main feed episode, our initial reactions, our thoughts about the Friday leaks. I'm always hitting up the pitchies to talk whatever we need to talk about, depending on what's going on with the show. So for more info, please check out our Patreon highlight on our IG page. Also, our Linktree link in our bio will have that information, as well as the show notes below.
We will see you all tomorrow for 1 hour episode, another of the battles. We can't wait. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.